Yo, what's up, y'all? Sai here, and welcome back to the shift. I actually wanted to do a different style of video on this one. And the reason why is because I was going through some news articles and I was looking at Forrest Frank, who's a really dope Christian music artist. If y'all haven't listened to him, y'all should check him out. I got listened to a lot of his music, but he has this video up on IG where he's saying that he's not going to be attending the Dove Awards because he feels a conviction against accepting an award for his music. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, hey, hey, if that's what you're convicted to do, then go ahead and do it. But obviously, in the trolls, there's gonna be some haters, and so I wanted to actually look at some of those comments, and I got the video pulled up right here. Um, so I'm actually playing real quick. Hold up.
As Christians, it's hard to know where the line in the sand is between being in the world and not of the world. And as a Christian artist, I dress kind of like the world. I kind of look like the world. My music can kind of sound like the world. So where's the line in the sand drawn? And I'm convicted personally that a line that I can draw is that I will not receive a trophy for something that is from Jesus and for Jesus. And I was wrestling with this last year. I even said that on stage at the Dove Awards. I said, I'm still struggling with the concept of receiving this award, but all glory to Jesus. Every name will fade away, including mine, except for one name. But I feel a conviction to go even a step further and say, I don't know if I even want to step on the stage. I don't know if I want to step in the room. And so I have decided to take a stance of non-participation. I will not be attending the Doves or the Grammys.
And so, that's pretty much it. He's saying he's not gonna attend the Doves or the Grammys, which I was like, all right, that's cool. Like go ahead, do what you do. But I don't even know who this guy is, Jared Schultz. But obviously in the comments, people gonna be trolling. If he says if you can't accept an award because it's all from Jesus, then don't accept any money from the music and donate it all because it's also from Jesus. But I was tripping on this one right here because this is from Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll saying you won't receive a trophy for something from Jesus, but will take the profits from something from Jesus for Jesus. Maybe I'm missing something here. And I really actually wanted to bring up a scripture, which is it is First Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7 through 14. And First Corinthians. So in First Corinthians, Paul, one of the apostles, he's writing to the church, and he's actually saying to them that in this particular part of the scripture, he's defending it because Paul and Barnabas, they're the only two apostles that aren't accepting money for the ministry, for them going out preaching the gospel. And Paul is being sarcastic, saying like it. I mean, it don't matter. Like earlier he's saying I speak in tongues more than anybody. Like, and so he has a lot that he can brag about. He can heal. He can do all these things, and he's not really like bragging about it. Instead. And then at the same time, he's defending other apostles because the other apostles and other disciples, they do accept money from their ministry. So in these verses, Paul is actually going to lay it straight. And he's saying, consider this: what soldier at any time serves at his own expense? Who plants a vineyard and does not eat any of the fruit of it? Who tends a flock and does not partake of the milk of the flock? Do I say this only on human authority and as a man reasons? Does not the law endorse the same principle? For in the law of Moses it's written, you shall not muzzle an ox when it's treading out the corn. Is it only for oxen that God cares? So right here he's saying, in the law, if you have an ox and the ox is treading, you should not muzzle that ox. You should allow that ox to eat from the work that he's doing. And then in verse 10, he continues, or does he speak certainly and entirely for our sakes? It's written for our sakes because the plowman ought to plow in hope, and the thresher ought to thresh in expectation of partaking of the harvest. If we've sown the seed of spiritual good among you, is it too much if we reap from your material benefits? So right here he's saying, I mean, we're doing all this work, we're preaching the gospel, we're going out, we're doing all this, and some of them, this is their 100% what they do for a living. Is it too much also if we accept money from doing this? If others share in this rightful claim upon you, do not we have a still better and greater claim? However, we have never exercised this right, but we endure everything rather than put a hindrance in the way of the good news. Do you not know that those men who are employed in the services of the temple get their food from the temple, and that those who tend the altar share with the altar in the offerings that are brought? On the same principle, the Lord directed that those who publish the good news should live by the gospel. So it's actually funny because in verse 13, back in the Old Testament, I think of like Samuel. his mom gives Samuel to the temple, and Samuel's being raised in the temple, and he's wearing his little coat, and as he's walking around, during that time, they would actually, they would sacrifice an animal, and they would, barbecue the animal, and the ministers would walk around, and they would actually eat. They would eat from the offerings that were being presented to God at the temple. And so he's using that as an analogy, like, hey man, just like they did that, um, it's okay for people to, accept money from what they're living by, so they can, do it for a living. And so for Forrest Frank, man, I don't find that there's nothing wrong with it biblically. It's okay to accept money. I mean, in this case, he's doing music. We all know you're gonna get paid from doing music, so you're getting paid from doing music. Boom, you're gonna make money, and that's totally fine. So to those that are in this comments just tripping, they just tripping, man. They've never heard of this scripture, or they don't read the Bible, So that's why it's always good to like try to line it up biblically, because I feel like everything is in the Bible. All the truth, it's you can find it all in the Bible. But I mean, that's all I got for y'all. I just wanted to do this quick video because yeah, he did nothing wrong. But y'all have a good one. Peace.